I am Tish Berbaum, and full name is Letitia Berbaum, but I go for it by Tish. And I'm the COO of the Zambergen Group, and I'm a wealth advisor, is what our firm does.
So, Tish, you've been involved with the Women in Leadership Council supporting the Women Rising Leadership Academy for a year now. And in fact, you were one of two of the founding council members. What compelled you to help fund the program and get involved?
Yes, so I am so excited. I've been in the program for over a year now, and I'm really happy to be part of one of the founding contributors. And for me, the most important thing was this started with a foundation for women, and the reality is there was already a program that it was mirrored from. And so to me, there was legwork already created. There was a foundation that was going to be in place. And so with that being implemented, Lacey, with the being at the head of this, running it, being able to turn it to the next phase and bringing it to the chambers, not just at the universities, I felt like this would be a huge impact for women across all of the community in Brea. And then as this has continued to grow, you can see it's hit other areas as well, from LA and I believe San Diego and Orange County. So this has really been able to take legs and grow. And the real reason why I've been able to do this and I jumped in is because it's helping women get to the next level in their careers. And there is barriers that sometimes people don't know about until you go through it. And so leaning into a program that helps people navigate that and have a program that people can ask questions freely and comfortably, that really is something that resonated with me, and giving back to women today to be able to really hopefully change the gap in being paid for women versus men, big picture, over a longer duration. This is one step in that. So I really felt like under great leadership with you, Lacey, being able to put this together, and then I really felt like the structure was there, that it made absolute sense to be able to invest in this because it was going right back to these women, and they are already, you can see that they're growing and developing.
Although this program has been in existence at Cal State Fullerton for 9 years with great success, last year was the first year the program was offered to working women through the Women Rising Leadership Academy. What kind of success are you seeing with the graduates of the first cohort?
Yeah, so I'm so excited that I've been able to see the transition from the 9 years at Cal State Fullerton to now being at the Brea Chamber. And there's a few women, if you haven't been able to see some of the testimonials, I'm going to suggest you absolutely check out the testimonials. 3 women specifically, I'd love to be able to say, give them a shout out. So one's Paulette, and then Kristen, and then Sierra. And here's the thing is, these are women that have gone through the first program and from beginning to end, and they've seen real success in their careers, from moving up the ranks in pay, moving to the next job opportunity, locking in secure jobs for maybe the rest of their career going forward. And also one of the members we brought on the board of the council here as someone that can help us continue to grow, and is now raising money for future contributions for women to continue to be part of this program. So again, what an amazing victory in just the first group of women to be able to go through this program. I can't wait to see where it's going to go next.
How does your involvement in the Women Rising Leadership Academy serve your personal values?
So personally, I am always about having women be pioneers in their industry and support them and what that looks like. So for me, I am a woman that is in investments and wealth management, and a lot of times I actually don't look at that, even though maybe I could be like 10% minority in my industry. I try not to pay attention to that. I just continue to work really hard. But not every woman has to have that experience. And I feel like at the end of the day, if they're able to have support and they're able to have the encouragement along the way, they can have such a smoother path going forward. So for me personally, I didn't want to have to wait until maybe I have become incredibly successful and a well-known person, that I have all this extra money that I'm being able to give back. I wanted to lend a hand. Now, as I'm continuing to run and grow my business and my practice, I wanted to give them an opportunity along the same way, and being able to give back today and being able to help create a change today, to be able to create more women in the field, also being able to create more opportunities, and hopefully maybe increasing their compensation, and maybe, let's just say, negotiation skills along the way. Things that I feel like I wish I had when I found out about this program. It was a no-brainer for me to be able to say absolutely, because at the end of the day, we want to see these women be strong and get to the next level. And honestly, if I had that, I would have been like, sign me up. And so really, truly, I feel like this is such an amazing gem. And once more and more people find out about this program, I think you're going to have so many people just fighting to try to get a seat at the table. And for me personally, it's just, if there's a way that I can be a champion for women, I will. And I want to be able to help them in ways that I can. And this is a way that I can. If I can financially contribute in a way that I know the dollars are going to be used to really make an impact, I believe in that all day long.
When it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion, how do you think that the Women Rising Leadership Academy is leading the way?
So I think when it comes to this organization leading the way for women going forward, I think of the butterfly effect. So in my mind, this could be just one little butterfly that you guys are making a change in one person's life. But honestly, at the end of the day, some of the women that have already gone through this organization are making changes in their communities. Just like, for example, Paulette. She works for the government, and she's now raising funds to be able to help the next generation of being able to go in. And then maybe for the next few years of women being able to go through this program. And as that happens, you're going to see these women be able to go into different jobs in different organizations all throughout the state. And then as you continue to see this, I think slowly over time, you see a change.
Tish, we've learned through unsolicited feedback from the employers that the Academy is helping working women elevate their performance at work, making the Academy an important workforce development program as well. Why do you think this is important, and how will it serve the women who participate?
So I would say in general, investing in your employees and your staff as a business owner is critical. A lot of times people say they do it, but really, what are they doing? And so what I love about this program is you're able to have your employees go. It's in a program that's already established. It creates skills set. They come back to your team, and then you can create change with some of these soft skills. Maybe the team then gets along better. Maybe there's more unity. Maybe they're happier within your team. As a result, the team's performance improves. You enjoy your job, you're gonna work harder. You enjoy your teammates, you're gonna have less fighting, maybe less PTO, maybe less people being out because they really wanna be there, they're enjoying that. So as a result, maybe you have higher revenue. Maybe you're selling more, you have more profitability. So at the end of the day, I honestly say investing in your employees is also investing in your bottom line. So if you have development and you have leadership skills, now maybe people in leadership just kind of get thrown into a role. They might not understand true leadership skills. So they're able to kind of utilize that and really get trained so they can be a better maybe manager, better team player, better owner. So really at the end of the day, you still can see the company grow. So that at the end of the day, potentially improves profitability and output for your employees. So I think ultimately for business owners, why not?
So last year, Tish, you were recognized for walking your talk on supporting women when you won Senator Archuletta's Women of Achievement Award for investing in working women in his district without regard for the fact that it was outside your immediate business area. What is it about the issue of advancing women in the workforce that compelled you to so selflessly offer your support?
So I would say the most important thing for me in my life is also giving back. So I might not, I'm normally that quiet giver. I don't typically share, this is what I've done. It's important to me. As a child, my parents had us go to the food bank and hand out food to people that needed it every Tuesday as part of our growing up. And so me being able to see both sides um, of that, I feel like humbled me as a child. And so that piece of me is always there. And so if I have the opportunity to give back to an organization that I feel like is making a huge impact in things that I believe in, then I have no problems giving my money, giving my time, giving my resources, giving my efforts, whatever that looks like. And honestly, at the end of the day, for me, it was more, I didn't even think about how it was going to affect me in my business. That's not how I make my decisions. My decisions is if I believe in the cause, I believe in the impact, then I'm going to give no matter what. And that's really truly where that came from.
So, Tish, last year you participated in our first Academy for Working Women,
Yeah.
which included a panel of executive women leaders. As you know, the panel included 5 C-suite female executives sharing the challenges they experienced in their rise to the top, as well as how they overcame those challenges. How was it for you to be able to share that wisdom with an audience of working women seeking to achieve your same level of success?
So being on the panel was an honor, and I'm so happy to have been asked to be there with some amazing women. So I would say what was amazing was I am not a person that traditionally is that vulnerable, right? And shares those intimate moments, because a lot of times those are quiet moments. Those are quiet moments for a lot of women or people in general when you go through pivotal things. But it opened up the space to be able to have really genuine, true conversations. And during that panel, I think it created this space for people to be open, people to be free, to be able to share experiences, go back and forth and talk about some of the moments that were really challenging, moments that are pivotal, moments that created change in their life without even knowing it. You know, it's not necessarily how you fall, but it's how you get back up again. And a lot of times what people don't even say, it's those critical moments that you be in a situation, it's how you react and that's how you respond. And if you work through some of that, or if you talk to people who've gone through those experiences, you can use that in your bank for a reference and how you can work through those situations. And I feel like that's really what was amazing about that panel, is being able to be open and being able to have this really great conversation. And a lot of times, which was interesting, is a lot of the women on this panel shared similar but unique situations, unique to them, but overarching very similar. So then we can take those pieces, and then your group can then break that down into different pieces later on to be able to work through and give them examples like, what do you do here? What do you do there? You can't prepare for every situation, but being able to work through that framework and some of the examples helps the next generation maybe not have to go through it as much, or that next opportunity that person goes through, or each time maybe you go through that situation, it's a little different. And you're like, oh, I've been here before. This is how I'm going to respond because I kind of know how that feels and I know how to work through that.
Tish, I know that you are an inspiration to so many of our Academy participants because you have found a way to succeed at the highest levels of professionalism while raising a family. I usually don't ask this question in interviews because nobody asks this of a man, but it's a question on a lot of participants' minds. How do these executive women achieve work-life balance, and how do you do it?
Yeah, so balance is not 50-50, right? In my mind. And when it comes to work-life balance, I feel like I've always been super focused on what I wanted, and then I've gone after it. There's been incredible pivotal moments that having my children, do I want to go back to work? Do I want to go back and just stay home? I had that opportunity. I chose to go back because I love what I do. Find the passion in what you do, and then it just becomes no problem. I was able to figure it out. I didn't have help at home, so I figured out a balance. one thing I feel like that made me stand out in my industry, and maybe there's not a lot of women in my industry because it's so much time and it's labor intensive and it's difficult. But with every challenge, we figured out a way, and I never gave up on what my true dream was and being able to help people make changes in their life. And it is so rewarding doing that. So that being said, there was days that in the beginning that I figured it out. I had a nanny at my house, half day nanny, shared with someone else because financially it didn't work for me. And I tried to figure out how I can make all of this work. And I would take meetings at home and then go into the office some of the days, but I didn't stop. I just kept on looking for solutions and kept on going through that whole process over time. And there's times even today that I miss events at school. I miss events that maybe are critical moments because I'm traveling somewhere, and I have to be at peace with that in my life and knowing that it's a balance, and I have to give 100%. So when I'm at home, I'm at home, and I might not be answering calls or get to your email right away. But if someone doesn't understand that and someone doesn't have empathy for that, then you know what? Maybe they're not the right client, or maybe they're not the right boss. Just keep on persevering with what's most important to you, and don't give up. I never gave up. I feel like that's been my champion throughout this entire thing. And I did it for my kids. And I want my daughter to see, you know what? Go after your dreams no matter what. You can be successful. You can go after your dreams. You can be this executive woman and have a family. It doesn't mean that you have to choose one or the other. It doesn't also mean that you get to do everything. So being able to understand that and say, okay, I come to terms with it. Like, I might miss some moments. There's days that I came home in the beginning and my daughter called the nanny mom, and I just lost it. And that was a moment that, you know, I knew that was a moment that was hard, and she didn't understand. She was super little, but it's one of those things that I just had to understand that when I'm home, I'm present, I'm available, I'm there. And also there's going to be moments that are going to have like that are going to be challenging as well. So, you know, go after it if you want to go after it. And if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, totally be a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with that as well. It wasn't the path that I wanted, but go after what makes you happy. I think at the end of the day, that's the most important. You only get one shot at living life, and do it the way that you want to do it, and just, you know, go after it no matter what.
Tish, if we look at some of the issues that working women deal with, what do you think are some of the things that working women can do to help make inroads on that particular issue?
You know, me personally, I love hiring interns. I love hiring people that want opportunities. And the first thing I ask is like, what's your goals? Where do you see yourself in 1, 3, 5, 10 years? The things that I do for myself, I encourage them to do. I want to train them, get them to the next level, get them to be their best self. And if they move on to the next opportunity, you won. I mean, maybe they've outgrown their role there, and then you've been able to let them free to the next opportunity and bring on the next person that you can train and develop. As a business owner, that's a great opportunity. Maybe, and if you're a person, turn back and say, hey, how can I help that next person? And whatever that authentically looks like for you, maybe that. But more than anything, I think challenge yourself to figure out what that means to you. And if you really want to make a change, how do you plan on making that change?